For now, though, you've been watching BBC News. My name is Maxine Mawhinney. Bye-bye for the moment. And time for a look at the weather, and here's Darren Bett.
Hello, I'm Rachel Horn. Let's take a look at the markets in Europe have ended the trading session. And we should be able to see them in just a moment. There we go. And they're all green. They're all on the up. Is also up, rising after the Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen pushed back expectations for an interest rate rise in the US in the immediate future, but she managed to do that without raising concerns over the strength of the world's largest economy. Now, that's a pretty tricky balancing act, but the markets feel she's pulled it off, and you can see it there. The markets are all in positive trading territory.
Thanks very much, Mr. Green.
Thank you.
Descendants of sailors killed in the biggest sea battle of the First World War will be at Chatham's Naval Memorial for a centenary commemoration this afternoon.
And that is all your sport for now, Ben. Now on BBC News, it's time for the travel show.
Funnily enough, it isn't actually. But anyway, John, thank you very much indeed. Slightly jumping the gun, but we are going to get that a bit later. Before that, we're going to get the weather, and Thomas Schaffernaker's got the forecast for us. And Thomas, we're all bracing ourselves, aren't we, for the week ahead, because it's going to be very cold and very snowy.
It is. The weekend, that cold theme really is going to be an issue. Primarily rain on Saturday, but snow showers developing for the second half of the weekend, and the winds could be a feature as well, so any lying snow could be blown around significantly.
Keeping it under the mattress, the new banknote that you can, you can put it in with your fish or even dip it in your dinner. A plastic £5 note comes into use in the US. Now, for once, a statistic to celebrate, and it is a statistic to do with death tolls in Syria. Since the ceasefire in the country came into effect.
Now, Greta Gerwig's directorial debut has already made her an Oscar contender.
Is about to make its maiden voyage from an airfield in Bedfordshire. The British-designed Airlander 10 is 300 feet long and is a hybrid, part airship, part aeroplane. Our correspondent Nick Hyam is at Cardington Airfield. Everything ready, Nick?
Yes, there it is, Jane, and the first thing to say about it is that it is big. It's 60 feet longer than the biggest jumbo jet, contains 1 million cubic feet of helium gas. To give you some idea of how big, let me just show you one of the sheds in which it was built. This is one of two enormous First World War hangars here at Cardington Airfield, which were originally constructed to build airships. The Airlander filled that when it was fully inflated. They could only just get it out. It is an airship, but it's also a plane because it's designed to behave aerodynamically like a rather sluggish aircraft. You start the engines and you get lift. What's it going to be used for? Well, it could be used by the military. It was originally designed by the American Army at a cost of $300 million, but it could also be used almost anywhere you could take a helicopter, carry heavy loads, taking off and landing virtually in no ground at all. And what's more, it could, I've forgotten what I was going to say, so I'm going to leave it there.
News agency says the ruling Communist Party has proposed a change to the constitution that would allow the president and the vice president to stay in power for more than 2 terms. The current president, Xi Jinping, is due to step down from his role in 2023. Well, let's go to our China correspondent, Robin Brandt, who's in Beijing. Robin, how significant is this move?
Well, this proposal could see the biggest change to the leadership of this country, now the second biggest economy in the world, of course, for... Hello? Hello?
We do apologise for the breakdown in this programme. We hope to get it back to you just as soon as possible. We're so sorry for these technical problems we're having. We do hope to get the programme back to you just as soon as we possibly can. And here's the weather for today. It's dry and sunny for many this afternoon, but rather cold. Some northeastern areas will remain cloudier, as will portions of South Devon and South Cornwall. Isolated light snow showers in Aberdeenshire. And tonight, a very cold night to come with a biting easterly wind and a hard frost. Eastern parts of the UK will become cloudier at times, with a few snow flurries likely before the end of the night.
I know you will never have been asked before. Do you know what time it is right now?
It's just coming up to 4 o'clock, isn't it?
We're looking at the Big Ben behind you, which seems to be 20 minutes late and running very slowly. Has that ever happened into your memory?
No, and I'll go back to my office and study it, because I've got an office looking directly at Big Ben. So it's an interesting curiosity, and we should perhaps do some research on it.
Well, yeah, let's not spend too much time on it. But anyway, Vince Cable, Savinsky, great to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The singer-songwriter Paul Simon has announced he will retire after the end of his current tour, apart from the occasional performance. What does that mean? Let's find out. Our entertainment correspondent Lizo Mazimba is here. So what's happened? He's put out a statement.
He's put out a statement saying that his tour that he's just announced, called, and the clue was there, Homeward Bound, the final tour, will actually be his final series of concerts as a performing artist. Not a huge surprise. He's been touring, writing, playing, and doing all this music for more than half a century. He's 76 years old, and he said in a statement that it's time to stop touring. He feels that the travel, the time away from his wife and family, takes a toll that detracts from the joy of playing. So this tour, which starts off in Canada later this year and will end in London's Hyde Park in July, is going to be his final tour as a touring artist. It doesn't mean it's the last chance to see Paul Simon. He says he's going to keep playing the occasional concert, probably in New York, where he's based for much of the time. He says he's hopefully in an acoustically pristine concert hall stage somewhere, and he'll donate the earnings from that to various charities. But it's a chance for him to say goodbye to his fans around the world who've followed him, of course, with Simon and Garfunkel, one of music's most successful duos, where he wrote almost all of their hits, including the likes of Bridge Over Troubled Water. Huge success too as a solo artist. Everyone remembers Graceland in particular. And it just sounds like he wants to give his fans a bit of advance warning that this will be the last chance around the world to see him, although they may still catch him on a stage, in New York, close to where he lives.
I don't know. Last week it was Neil Diamond, now it's Paul Simon. And what's Louise Lear going to do for fun with all these people retiring at this stage? Well, anyway, you're right. It's not worthy of an answer. Yeah. Lisa, thank you very much. There is no answer. Thank you very much.